And as Israel is saying, Israeli officials are saying that all of Israel is under fire. We are looking at live pictures here from Tel Aviv, but let's take a look at what happened just moments ago as Iranian ballistic missiles came into the airspace there. I want to bring in former Israeli Ambassador Michael Oren. Ambassador, how are you? What are you seeing here? And how do you think that people outside of the region should be viewing what they have been witnessing here over the last day?
My family and I are in our safe room, Brianna. We're okay. The building shook not a little bit a couple of minutes ago. And we've received warnings on our cell phones, very sophisticated warnings that tell us exactly what to expect and where to go when the expected arrives. And the expected did arrive. Apparently 100 rockets fired at Israel. And Israeli news is reporting that 7 have hit in the greater Tel Aviv area. So that, by the way, is not an unusual number. Our missile defense systems, which are multi-level. It's Iron Dome is the bottom, but it's David Sling for middle range rockets, Arrow 2 for suborbital rockets, Arrow 3 for orbital rockets. These are joint Israeli-American missile systems, anti-missile systems. They're about 90 to 95% effective. And so if Iran has fired 100 rockets at us and 5 to 7 hit, that's par for the course.
And Ambassador, as you were speaking, Iranian state media is now reporting that Tehran has fired hundreds of various ballistic missiles toward Israel in what it's calling the beginning of its crushing response to the Israeli attacks on the country beginning late last night. I wonder what you make of this retaliation thus far in light of what Israel has done to Tehran and its proxies in the region over the last 12 to 15 months. Do you anticipate that Iran is going to continue doing this? Do they have the capacity to?
Well, it's a multifaceted question, Boris, and it's this. On one hand, the response of 100 rockets fired is a lot less than the 2 other instances which Iran fired at us in October and April of 2024. And in each of those cases, Iran fired over 300 ballistic missiles at us in response to a far lesser provocation than Israel's attacks in Iran over the last 17, 18 hours. However, if Iran maintains a steady drizzle, and I say that not ironically, a steady drizzle of missiles that keep our airport closed, that keep our economy frozen, keep most Israelis indoors, that could have a prolonged effect. And that is something that it looks much more like a war of attrition. And so over the last these 17, 18 hours, the Israeli Air Force and other forces have opened a cordon from western Iran into central Iran, free of anti-aircraft batteries. And so the Israeli Air Force can operate pretty much with impunity. There have been no losses of reported aircraft during the course of the day, which is quite an extraordinary feat, given the fact that some 200 aircraft were in the air traveling about 1,000 miles from Israel. And now those aircraft will be able to operate with impunity. So the war of attrition cuts 2 ways. It'll also be Israel will be able to strike at Iranian targets, Iranian rocket launchers, arsenals. And as we know, Israel has intelligence assets on the ground in Iran directing these strikes.
Ambassador, if you could stand by for us, and it's good to hear that you and your family are safe there as you are sheltering.